And we're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of This Week in Real Estate, hosted by the Bearded Men of Real Estate. My name's Ray. Say hi, Dan.
Hi, Dan.
Do you like that sound effect I threw in there? That was a good one, I thought. Yeah. So welcome, everyone. We're broadcasting live on YouTube, Facebook, and we are also on Clubhouse. So feel free to join us on any one of those mediums. If you're on Clubhouse, you can raise your hand. And if you have something to add to the topics or whatever, one of the moderators will check out your profile and bring you up. Feel free to join in the discussion and let us know what's going on or what your opinion of the topic is. But you can also, if you're watching us on YouTube and Facebook, comment, and then we can display the comment and talk about that and talk about you. Either way. So we really appreciate you guys sharing the show. Pinging people in that are in the real estate industry, people that might know a lot about the news or don't know anything about the news and should. That is who this show is for. So we're going to
don't know a lot about the news, but should.
Right. I like that definition of like, yes,
you should, but you don't.
Definition.
Yeah.
You should know this stuff, but if you don't, that's fine. That's why we have 1 hour to give that information to you. Let me give you a quick rundown of the news articles that we're going to cover on the show today. First, I should have put Zillow in the headline because that's always, we're going to talk about Zillow.
I told you.
We don't talk about Zillow. No, somebody's got to parody that. We're talking about Zillow. So Zillow has a new audacious plan. We're going to talk about that. And they have a housing super app. We'll talk about those two things. We're also going to talk about the average size of the mortgage just set a record. Homes are selling faster than ever. Mortgage rates are high. Home builders' confidence is low. Soaring lumber prices and availability of materials got their pennies in a wad. And then there's an online brokerage that's laying people off. We talked about some lenders laying people off and kind of what was going on there. But we see an online brokerage laying people off too. So that's the gist of the news, just looking at the headlines today. We don't have any comments on YouTube yet. I figured Melissa Mara at least would. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't give our regulars the link to the show there. So I'm going to make, can y'all hear that? There you go. Yeah. I'm going to be sure that they have that now. So Dan, before we get into all these headlines, would you tell people what this show is actually all about?
You know what? I'd love to. I'm telling the group, guys, we have a contributors group that you can share things to on Facebook. There's a little ping right there.
There you go.
See, there you go. I was hoping that'd be the first comment, by the way.
Oh wait, is it? Do we get that? Oh, there it is.
Boom.
I love Dan's glasses, Julie Moon.
Yeah, if you guys are just on Clubhouse, you're missing out. You are missing
Nico.
out.
Nico's on the Facebook too. Thanks, Nico.
But yeah, we do have a. Whoa, cool.
Voon Rent Wiley Radkit. I don't know what that means, man.
I don't know. What's up, Radke? But we have a contributors group on Facebook. So if you want to go be a part of that, you'll see articles from other contributors sharing there. And it's just kind of gets the conversation going. This is not a fresh cut. I just didn't wear a hat today and I put stuff in it. It's softball season. So it literally every day, it's our tournament right now. So I have a game every day except for today, but then back to games tomorrow. And then Saturday again. So pretty much every day I'm like, dude, why do my hair? I'm going to be in a hat all day. So, and then with
hashtag softball dad.
Yeah. Hashtag softball coach. And then with travel and everything, it's just crazy. So today I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do a little thing with my hair and wear the glasses. Let's go. But anyway, I'd love to tell you guys what the show's about. So when Ray and I met here on the interwebs in 1972, I had an idea. Because I was a bearded man back then in 1972 at 22 years old. I was born in 1950. I had an idea for a show. And obviously, I have a bearded I'm a bearded man of real estate. I was a real estate agent back then, too.
You did out for me, Dan. I don't know
50 years ago. Ray was a little bit younger than me, but Ray froze.
I'm cutting out, I think.
Yeah. Am I still here? Ray's intermittently freezing. Am I here? Who's losing? You were losing or am I losing?
Hang on.
Which one of us is losing? It's the glasses, man.
Something's happened. I think everybody hear me, Dan, but you're cutting out. Well, it's the StreamYard connection. It says connection is losing right now.
Yeah, my internet connection is dialed, dude. It's terrible. Solid.
Hang on, bear with me. You're super choppy for some reason, but it's the StreamYard connection. I'm looking at the little connection app on Stream. You're dialed?
Oh. Yeah, I'm good.
There's a little connection symbol on the top of the StreamYard, and that's having problems.
StreamYard. So, dude, they can't handle the glasses
on Clubhouse.
Right.
Hang on just a minute. We'll figure this out. It says Ray is choppy. Nope, can't hear on Clubhouse. I think it's all coming back now.
Give it a slowly second. There. You're less choppy.
Bearded men are unstable.
It's true.
Ray is choppy.
At least choppy. One of us is unstable.
Yeah. I should tell people about our chops since we have a minute. Dan is clear on Facebook. Ray is not. So yeah, it's my StreamYard connection, which doesn't make sense. So now it's gone and it says we're fully connected. So I don't know what that was. Fine.
But yeah, I'll go into the chat. But yeah,
while we're burning around us, but everything's fine. Hopefully they can hear us on Clubhouse again. I think they can.
I'm still there. I don't have I don't have the red thing of doom there either. So good times, dude. I'm telling you, man, they can't handle the glasses.
All right, sorry about that, guys. So start over because I didn't hear anything you said because it was just like.
Well, it started back in 1972 when Ray and I met. I had already been a realtor for quite some time, and I had the beard back then. I was born in 1950. Ray was a little bit younger, but I had an idea for a show called The Bearded Men of Real Estate, which is now This Week in Real Estate, hosted by the Bearded Men of Real Estate. But when I met Ray, I noticed something very interesting about him.
Really? What's that, Dan?
He's not a Rams fan, even though it was obvious they were going to win the Super Bowl.
I don't know. So it's not that. So I really didn't have a dog in that hunt, but I found myself cheering for rights and wrongs. Like I would see holding. And I'm like, oh, that guy's holding, because both of the quarterbacks were from the SEC. I know Julie Moon was probably a Rams fan, right? Yeah, we could talk about it. I'm
a huge Rams fan, but can we talk about? Go ahead, because you're going to keep going to a penalty that was pretty blatant.
Which penalty that was pretty blatant?
The face mask that didn't get called that led to the touchdown. I mean,
yeah. There was a lot on both sides so I think they were letting them play pretty hard. I think there was like no flags on either team for a long time. So
yeah, and then since he saved them all to the last 4 minutes, we're like, thanks, man, appreciate it.
Yeah, and some of those were ticky tack, but there was one that should have been like an obvious pass interference they didn't call, and then the next play the guy barely bumped him, they called it. It was totally a makeup call. But anyway,
at some point though, it was just what are they making up anymore? At the end, I swear there was 4 or 5 penalties in a row right at the goal line. You know, I never doubted.
See the makeup call for holding at the end. Yeah, everybody knows it was a makeup call. Yeah, they missed the pass interference.
Which makeup call? Because usually they make it up within a few minutes. That face mask one was pretty legit. His head turned 180 degrees. But then there was something else. But anyway.
But no, so I found myself rooting for rights and wrongs because I wanted either quarterback to win because both quarterbacks are from the SEC and I support the SEC as a whole. Yeah. So I thought it was good. But also I did like the one thing I did like about LA is a lot of the guys that were on that team that didn't have a ring yet that have been playing in the NFL for so long and they were old, like the dude with the gray beard.
Dude, and he's an old lineman, dude. That guy's 40 something as an offensive lineman.
Holy 40 something years old. So I was really happy for those guys to finally get a ring. Now I thought that was really cool, but I really didn't want either team to win, but I wanted both quarterbacks to do well.
Yeah, it was a little nerve-wracking there. I always had that kind of faith. Like, I know our team's better. I thought we were a lot better, not 3 points better. I thought we were a lot better, but it was still a good game overall, and it was fun to watch. But anyway,
Coach looks like a genius now for getting rid of Goff.
Yeah, well, I mean, dude, that kid's still 30.
Yeah, he's got
5 or something. I mean, he's a baby.
He'll do as Stafford did and put in years and years at the Lions and don't do anything.
Yeah, and also Stafford's how old is Stafford now? 48, 50? I don't even know how old he's been around a minute, you know?
Oh, Matt, man, you're stirring it up. Are we going to talk about the celebs wearing their masks or not wearing their masks? Yeah. All right, anyway.
Yeah, but you can talk about the entire place not wearing their masks. They're supposed to, but you're also supposed to also have a negative test and be vaccinated and all that stuff. But I don't know, like, can we just stop talking about it? Like, who cares anymore? Like, whatever, they went, and if they get the Rona, they get the Rona. If they don't, they don't. Like, who cares? It was a great football game, and everyone celebrated. And by the way, did you see SoFi Stadium? Because I'm sure you guys hadn't really seen it before. Holy cow.
Yeah.
dude, it's
cool.
like it's not just a stadium. There's a football field outside the stadium and like a huge
and a pond or lake or whatever. Yeah,
there's
that
a
was
lake.
cool.
It's ridiculous what they did over there.
Pretty.
There you go. Stafford's 34, which is essentially 48 in football years. But man, I'm just kind of done with it because there's a lot of articles today that mention, well, depending on the omnibus variant, well, who cares, man? Like, just like go get it or don't get it or whatever. But like, bring down lumber prices, bring all this stuff. It's ridiculous at this point. But I'm going to save the rant because I'm still in the intro of the show. And by the way, if you hate this banter,
yeah. So what you could do is you could go down to the bottom in the description of the YouTube channel if you're watching the replay, and there'll be every one of the articles that we're going to cover at a little timestamp. You click that timestamp and you'll jump. You'll like fast forward to that part of the show and you'll miss all of this banter.
Joe Rogan's an idiot.
What? No, I don't agree. Don't come after me, Joe Roganites.
Look, spoken like a true Rogan fan. No, like
what?
Where
you see the
Malarsh.
Like a true Rogan fan.
No,
I'm hearing some kind of echo though. I think I'm coming through your phone.
No, I have my headset in, so it shouldn't be. But anyway, he's okay. So the dude says what he wants to say. That's great. So here's what you guys should do. If you don't like what he says, don't listen to him. If you like what he says, listen to him. If not enough people don't listen to him, or not enough people listen to him, he'll just go away. But like canceling a dude because I don't know, it's stuff crazy. We live in weird times, man. We live in weird times. Like I support the dude because he says what he wants to say, and people listen or they don't. Like whatever. Anyway,
don't cancel Dan, everyone.
Cancel me. I don't care.
We care.
After me.
ratings care.
There's literally nothing to cancel. Like go ahead. Oh my God, I had an opinion that didn't agree with you anyway.
They'll go after StreamYard.
Yeah, I'm telling Malarsh what to do. And by the way, you should cancel me for calling him Malarsh. That's offensive to his entire lineage. Sorry, Dan's on fire today with all these.
Dan is having a rant. So anyway, tell people why we do this show again.
Just a rant. It's not even me. It's these glasses, dude. They get me fired up. I guess that's what it is. Dude, they've been trying to. D. Jones is like, what's going on today? I have a funny story, but look at one guy. Yeah, dude, they've tried to cancel Eminem. He sings about getting canceled, and they still don't cancel. But anyway,
I'm going to be upside down like 50 Cent.
I obviously noticed, dude. There's some funny gifs around that one. Some funny memes about that one. Pit Viper Life, not Put Viper Pit, and these are way better than Pit Vipers. These are Oakley Sutras, by the way. Anyway, I obviously noticed that Ray agrees with everything that I say, and he is a beautifully bearded man. But what I also noticed that he loves giving value up front to not only agents but also just to humans in general. So the show is about being more as an agent, but also being more as a human.
D. Jones throwing shade on your glasses. She said, "Dan, do you have cataract surgery?"
Yeah, I'm old. You have to wear those
big glasses.
Yeah.
All right, so one of the ways we believe in being more is to know what in the world is going on, and that's why we have a news show, which we're about to get into. But like we said, if you don't like the banner, you can always watch the replay and go down to the bottom and then click to fast forward to the part of the
15 minutes into the show.
Haven't covered anything yet. We're getting there, y'all. We're getting there. I do have to say though, the 50 Cent memes, I'm getting around. We just had Apathy join the clubhouse, who is a rapper. I don't know if you know Apathy or not. He's a pretty rad dude. I was disappointed that he didn't appear during the halftime show, but other than that, it was probably the best halftime show I've ever seen.
Ever. It was fantastic. It was cool.
It was an amazing halftime show. So.
It was absolutely amazing.
All right.
It was so good. And all of our
Joseph. Gail loves the banter.
Dude, everyone I can guarantee, everyone that's around my age or in the middle that listened to that stuff in the 90s and were like in their late teens, early 20s, like we all were, dude. And now you have kids. The kids were like, what's happening? And we're like, don't.
That was stuff that I work out to still.
Oh yeah.
I mean, so I was shocked to learn that was the first time rap was at a halftime show. Can you believe that? Yeah. That was the first time rap had ever been featured during the halftime show.
Wait, not because that was all rap
during the Super Bowl halftime show. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there were still people that were like, well, they should have changed it up and add some country. I'm like, come on. I mean, that's ridiculous. It's
dude.
Dan
Mac
Prince
right
in 2007. Dan Mac says Prince in 2007 was epic. That was a really, really good one too.
Epic.
And for all the faults that happened during JTT's show, Justin Timberlake, not JTT, but JT, for all the faults that happened during his show was pretty good too. But Prince and then this one, it's going to be hard for them to beat now.
This was insane, especially when Dr. Dre sat down and was playing the piano. I'm like, oh my God, it's crazy. Yeah.
So, well, one of the most impressive things for me is that they didn't lip sync. They were actually up there rapping, and because you could hear the mic variance as it was going in front of their mouth and stuff. And I was really impressed by that because I don't know if you guys noticed this, but a lot of those halftime shows, the person's just lip syncing the whole thing and dancing.
Dude, I put it in my stories, but Mary J. Blige killed it. Oh my God, it was so good.
Everything was good.
Yeah, all right, good times. What are we doing again? What's up?
Are you ready to get into this show?
Yeah.
All right, we got a lot of news to cover, so let's get into the show. Here we go.
Still don't have a sound effect for that. Can't find it.
Well, I can't find it. I mean, we can find it, but we can't use it. It's not downloadable.
Right.
All right. So let me share my screen here. Just
oh boy.
Yeah. Well, it's live production. So let's talk about this. Down for all the audio listeners on Clubhouse.
So loud.
So loud. I'm sorry. I've got it fixed now.
Yeah.
All right. So Dan, does size matter? Because
no. I mean, wait.
Huh?
What are we talking
about? The mortgage.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't know about this?
I didn't know what we were talking about. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. The mortgage. The average size of the new mortgage just set a record as home prices continue to climb. Home buyers are facing one of the priciest housing markets in history, and that means they'll need larger mortgages than ever before. That's kind of obvious. While mortgage demand is falling due to rising interest rates, the size of the average purchase loan application just set a record. Mortgage applications to buy a home fell 1% last week compared to the previous week, according to the Mortgage Bankers Association seasonally adjusted index, and volume was 7% lower than this week a year ago. This is a quote from Joel Kahn. He's the Mortgage Bankers Association economist. He said purchase applications saw a modest decline over the week, with government purchase applications accounting for most of the decrease. Prospective buyers still face elevated sales prices in addition to higher mortgage rates. The heavier mix of conventional applications again contributed to another record average loan size of $453,000. So there's a lot that's interesting around this. One of the things that we kind of look at, yes, we're looking at the average loan size. Yes, we see the increase in the average loan size, but we also note that within that increase, it shows that there's probably still a lack of inventory in the bottom 1/3 of the market. So if there is a lack of inventory where people can't purchase in the bottom 1/3 of the market, then naturally you're going to have continual escalations in the average home price or average mortgage as people are purchasing in the middle and upper middle of the markets around the country. So I don't think I'm not shocked by this. I kind of figured this would happen until there was additional inventory towards the bottom of the market. But what I'm hopeful is that this signifies that a lot of people are getting out of their house and into the next level up. So hopefully we'll start to see over the coming months more inventory available in the 250, 350 range instead of just the 453,000. Oh, D Jones says we could just record the sound. Oh, was it that loud? Matt Lamar said, "Rip AirPod listeners." Sorry.
Can you screen record and pull audio from that screen recording?
Possibly. I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it now because D Jones said to do it.
That's what they said.
All right. So did you have anything to add about the increase in the average loan size?
Not really. Just kind of, averagey is okay. I just want you guys to know that average is okay. Just kidding. No, I don't have much on it.
Oh, goodness gracious. Already a dumpster fire of a show. We've got a lot to cover.
This is where I live. I live in this realm, this kind of controlled chaos realm. This is my brain. So let's go.
All right. So the next article kind of has something to do with what we were just talking about. It's not far off. Let's see if this is better for everyone. All right, so here it is. Homes are selling faster than ever before, and the spring market is just around the corner. So even now in the winter, homes are selling faster. Anyone out there searching for a new place to live knows there's not much to buy. Total supply, new listings are at record lows, which means the stuff that's on the market now is selling super fast. The average home spent just 61 days on the market, according to Realtor.com. Does that seem long to you, Dan?
Really long.
The average home spent 61 days on the market. So what I don't like about the average is that, excuse me, you can have a couple of like outliers in the marketplace that are distorting the numbers. So if you had a home that's been sitting on the market for 3 years at some insane price, then that's going to distort your average days on market, right? So, and I also don't like it because if you have one that sells in 1 day, it distorts it. What I like is median, but they don't talk about the median in this at all. But that seems high for average. So I want to know with you guys and your respective markets. T. Jones says again, that's what she said. In your respective markets, what's happening? Are you seeing an increase in the average days? Because when we look at average days, it seems long, but when we look at the median, it seems about right. The median days on market in our market are less than, well, depending on the city. Some cities are 14, some cities are like 28 days on the market. However, our median is like 3 days. Now, so I think a lot of it has to do with pricing things right, setting expectations with your sellers, making sure they get the homes, ready.
So now I want to ask about median. Is it literally like if I have 20 numbers, I just pick the middle one, or do I take the 2 middle ones and then average those, and that's my median? How do you get median? Because I'm helping my daughters with math, and it's the latter, not the former.
Median is middle, whatever falls in the middle. So if you have 1, 3, 10, 3 is in the middle. And with a small data set, it doesn't work.
Yeah. You got
with a really large data set, it tells you kind of what's happening, like what you can expect for your home. For instance, like median home prices. If you see median home prices are really low, then you know that there's a lot of transactions happening at the bottom of the market. But that median home price, it's low. If you just average them, you're going to see an average that's somewhere in the middle. And that doesn't really tell you anything. Julie Moon says, yeah, it's really increased about 3 days. Yeah. So she has seen a slight increase in her days on market, a 3-day increase.
Yeah, slight. So I did a search for my area here. I did a 10-mile radius, and it's 20 days on market is the average.
Now, does your market include the 20 days on market? Does that include the time under contract?
Yeah, that's to close.
Oh, that's to close. Wow, that's fast. Okay.
Well, so wait. So how ours works is if I leave it in, so if I go, active, obviously that's counting. If I go active under contract, is that what we call it? I don't know what we call it anymore.
I think just under pending.
No, not pending stops the ticker. That stops the clock.
Oh, really? So we don't have that. We don't have anything that stops it.
Pending stops the clock, which is, pending is after, for us anyway, it's after contingencies are removed and stuff, but that stops the clock. So, but it'll keep going. So if you just have an active listing, and then when you close, you close. Okay. So if you get through, it's a really skewed thing because
well, for the sake of the article, what Realtor.com did is that they took a house that hit their market, and then they took a house that registered as closed. So they did not calculate pending, under contract, or anything. So that's 61 days.
Right.
It's like it's 30 days until it goes under contract, which lines up with our market median.
Yeah. And Matt kind of says that too. So if you have if it takes me 30 days, well, let's say 35 days, I put it on the market on Wednesday, and then it's open through the weekend, and then I get into escrow, actually in escrow after reviewing offers and counters and stuff by Tuesday or Wednesday, that's like a 6-day swing. Yeah. But then some agents put it right into pending. If you leave it, then you go through another 17. That's 23 days. But then I go into pending. But now what if the last part of, the lender stuff takes a couple of weeks and we have to extend escrow? That doesn't account for days on market. You know what I'm saying? So it's a weird stat. Yeah. And I think Matt kind of says that. But so it is skewed a little bit, but in my area, average is 20 days, median is 10 days. So that says right there what Ray says. So median, a lot of things are lower than that 20. Is that what that would say, right, Ray?
Yeah, it seems like most of the homes are closing faster or going under contract faster.
Yeah, look at Julie's. There you go.
Julie said, I put something under contract 48 hours, but we are closing in April. Wow. So we can have a 60-day occupancy through the end of the school year.
It depends on which technicality you want to go with, because if it's under contract, it's no longer on the market. It's not a day on market. Days
well, according to these, according to this data set, it would be.
Right.
So yes, you're right. The one thing I did want to point out in this article that they mentioned that I thought was interesting, rising mortgage rates may also be keeping some potential sellers from making a move. So this is a good point. Like most sellers, because they refied last year or the year before, they now have a rate near or under 3%. So if they were to purchase another house with rates where they are now, they're going to be looking at more than, a 4% or so rate. Yeah. And so I thought that was a really interesting comment that they made. The average on the 30-year fixed mortgage rate is now heading toward 4%. Current homeowners may not like the debt of paying more, may not like the idea of paying more for the same debt that they have now.
But it's an easy stat to take and make a headline out of. What it should really say is, homes are selling faster. They're going off the market quicker. But are they really quicker? It's kind of been the same. It's, for me anyway, it's through the weekend and then we get into escrow. But that's just kind of the process we use as a team. Like Julie said, she's putting something into escrow after 48 hours. But does that account for all the marketing she did for the 3 days, and all that stuff? So
Matt Lamar said, when did Corey Hart join the pod?
It took you a while to come up with that one, man. Like, he's been thinking.
Like, who does he kind of, yeah, that's good.
So there's one thing, and it's part of the reason I'm on fire today, but it's from Danielle Hale. She's the chief economist at realtor.com. Factors like omnibus, because I don't want to say it, factors like omnibus uncertainties could be causing sellers to hesitate even when they know housing conditions are favorable. Okay, so they know housing conditions are favorable. Let's just talk about how they're favorable. Why mention the thing that's kind of here, not here, whatever? Why mention it? Like, it's just.
I guess as an economist, though, they're trying to make reason out of the fact that the market is incredibly favorable to sellers. Why aren't they putting their house on it? So I think they're looking for any reason possible to be like, oh, well, this makes sense with our data set. It must be this. It must be that concern. I think that's what she's doing. But
she goes right on to another perfect one. Doesn't have to mention the other one, because she says another key barrier is inventory, quote unquote chicken and egg dilemma that may vex sellers who are also buying. Do you list now when the home shoppers are hungry for more options, or do you wait for more inventory to hit the market in the spring?
Yeah. That's a question that we all deal with.
That's not going to get you, any, like, no one's, if she said just those types of quotes, they would go, we don't need Danielle Hale anymore. She's not controversial enough. But she throws in octopus stuff, and it's like, oh my God, the octopus variant. Write it down. Well, Danielle Hale said octopus.
So most economists spend time answering questions. What she is doing is just bringing up the questions. So, I mean, economists, I guess they'll look at a thing and apply reasoning, and maybe that answers the question of why someone's not selling. Well, maybe they're thinking of this, or maybe they're thinking of that. But I think that's the difference in, like, us listening to this news and taking it in versus us listening to this news and then knowing how to respond when one of our clients asks us the same question. Because how does Danielle Hale answer that question? You don't know. But as a real estate agent, we
answer what Danielle Hale says.
Right. And if the question of the seller is, do you list now when home shoppers are hungry for more options, or do you wait until more inventory hits the market in the spring? Because you, the seller, also have to go find a property. Well, in my opinion, if you are working with a buyer agent who is not actively searching for you to find a property, both on and off market, door knocking, mailing to neighborhoods that you're interested in, if you're working with an agent who is waiting on you to send properties that you're interested in seeing, or who only set up a search through the MLS, then you should probably wait until more inventory hits in the spring. Your house is not going to sell for what it could potentially. You may have more competition in your marketplace. You may not get terms as favorable as you do right now. But if you're working with an agent who's an actual professional, then you could be confident that they would negotiate terms on your behalf to potentially maybe give you some occupancy, like Julie Moon was mentioning. Maybe they would also actually work on your behalf on the buying side to find property that you'd be interested in that's not currently listed. And if you're working with an agent like that, it allows you to take advantage of the market in its current state. So, but I understand where Danielle Hale is coming from, because she's just asking the question as the economist. She's not looking for the answer. And I think probably most of the real estate agents that they're used to relating to may not know that answer. Matt Lamar says it sounds like a volatile proposition. Volatility.
Yeah, the Julie Moon's right. The podcast with me featuring the glasses, they're gonna need a warning label. Too much shade.
I'm not going there.
Too much shade.
Oh, that's the reason. Let's see. What Julie Moon said, I could probably put everything under contract in 12 hours, but I'll leave it open for bidding windows. So Julie Moon is single-handedly altering the statistics in Georgia. Scandalous. You just admitted it, Julie Moon.
Cancel. Don't cancel her, people. Don't cancel her.
What'd you say, Andy? Andy Rose joining the show. Welcome, Andy. What was that?
The only reason it's 3 days is because you put it on the market Friday, and you cut off all the showings and offers by Sunday. You put it under contract Monday morning.
Yeah,
it's just market. 3 days is just market exposure time, so you sort out all the offers.
Yep, I concur. That's what we see a lot too. Julie Moon says yes, Julie. Exactly. That's why Andy Rose has a thorn. That's Julie Moon's joke today.
Ray, I thought you were going to say Andy Rose to speak.
Matt LeVar says cancel Moons. There you go. All right. Sorry, I'm having too much fun.
So good. All right, let's move on. Do the thing.
Okay, where's the let me find the next article here. Oh, well, so this is kind of, I guess, related to exactly what we're talking about. Oh, wow.
The top flows, yeah.
That was just behind my camera. Hang on. All right. Sorry, bringing it up here. All right. Here we go. Mortgage rates blow past industry predictions. Dun, dun, dun. Dan, how do they know it's industry predictions? Because they watch our show. How do they know it's blowing past industry predictions? Because it's blowing past all of our predictions.
Way past.
Some mortgage rate.
I'm over agent now, and I was over 4.
Yeah, you're almost wrong. Some mortgage rate indices topped 4% on Thursday, blowing past predictions that rates might reach those levels by the end of 2022. They literally watch our show, Dan. Yeah. Economists had predicted rates would rise as the overall economy stabilized. The largest mortgage rate survey from Freddie Mac put the 30-year fixed rate mortgage at 3.69%. And Ray Ellen of This Week in Real Estate, part of the Beardman of Real Estate, predicted 3.65%. While the average rate in the latest, isn't that there? While the average rate, Mac can't connect with iCloud. Okay. While the average rate in the latest mortgage application survey from the Mortgage Bankers Association was 3.83%. So they have the benefit of changing their opinion as we get further and further through the year. Other indices put mortgage rates even higher. Black Knight's Optimal Blue, which provides data for the secondary market, reported the average 30-year conforming mortgage was 4.071% on Friday morning. It reported the 30-year rate for FHA insured mortgages was even higher at 4.122%.
Just like Snoop on Sunday.
Yeah, it got real high. If conditions stay at the current state, this is another quote from Joel Kahn. If conditions stay at the current state, we'll certainly see higher rates. But it's also useful to know that we've seen rates drop pretty quickly if there's some other kind of economic news that was unexpected. Like war.
That'll get some headlines.
Yeah. Industry experts predict war is good for the housing bubble. I'm kidding. It wouldn't surprise me, though, to see something stupid like that.
We've run out of headlines. So is war affecting the real estate housing market?
How will Russia affect your home value?
Yeah, there you go.
Are buyers rushing to purchase? Sorry.
Should you rush in attack to sell your home?
That's so bad. Okay, well, that's definitely how we're gonna work in that news if war breaks out. I mean, we're gonna have a heyday with it, but hopefully everything will be fine. That won't happen. Hopefully they'll withdraw. We'll see. But yeah, so mortgage rates are increasing. It's at 4%, and something that we've been talking about a lot. And Ivy Zellman said it. We also talked about it at the Elite Retreat several weeks ago. But as mortgage rates increase, are we going to see buyers begin to pull back? And what most economists are saying is no, that's probably not going to happen, because when it does happen, when rates begin to go to like 4.5%, 5%, demand still is not satisfied by the current inventory. There's something like 1.3 million homes that are started right now and delayed, and that's still a problem. There's still more housing starts on the way, but demand is not satisfied by the current market. Even if money starts to get more expensive, people got to move. They got to find somewhere, and they don't want to rent because rents are also astronomical. There were 3 articles on rent and how high it is that we're not covering today because we can't get there. So yeah. Mike says, wow, this is a much better viewing listening experience on YouTube. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. Melanie, hey.
No.
Hey. She said doing the same in Michigan. Listing Thursday, highest and best Monday, under contract. Getting offers day 1, but more money and better terms waiting for everyone. Melanie, have you seen a lot of bully offers? Because I've had some success with my buyers putting in some bully offers in those situations and saying, yeah, I know you're going to review by Sunday, but our offer expires tonight. So whatever you want to do. And we're getting them. So just curious.
And we're the best. So take it or leave it. So that's a take it or leave it situation. You got to be careful.
Melanie, did you say something?
I was going to say, as a listing agent, I refuse to be bullied, but as a buyer's agent, I do it all day long.
Melanie, did you buy an NFT?
I won an NFT and I bought about 9, and I'm up a lot of money right now. It's been kind of cool.
She said, I'm out a lot of money. It's cool. Okay. Well, I like your avatar.
No, I'm up a lot. I'm up a lot of
money.
Oh,
up a lot of money.
The one that you're looking at, I bought for $1 and it's now worth $1,500.
That's worth $1,500? I'm trying to show the it's not getting there. Oh, there it is. That's $1,500?
Yeah, and I got it for $1.
Wow. That's really impressive.
I mean,
we love William Tong. He's just awesome.
Yeah, William is. Is he here today? No.
Hold on. Ray, keep going. I'll be back.
Well, so we have that little mastermind, Melanie. I hope you're in the little real crypto mastermind where we talk about real estate and crypto.
Yep.
Okay, good.
Yep.
I want you to be on some of that stuff because I want to hear what you're doing. All right. So one of the things that we just kind of mentioned, this Matt, I guess you're what did he say? Hang on, Matt. Who are you talking to? To the moon. Matt is having his own conversation here. I'm an Elon. I'm in my Elon mobile selling my Doge. What is that, Dan? Is that an NFT?
This is an NFT. I bought this. Look, I can touch it.
It's not an NFT.
This is an NFT. This is an NFT.
Queens of the Stone Age poster art.
No, that NFT. It's an NFT.
I think it's called. I think that's ART. That's.
This is an ART. Eventually, you'll see this back there in the background. I just can't figure out how to get it there.
How much has that increased in value since you purchased it, Dan?
A lot, actually.
Matt LeVar said that's $1,499 in profit, right, Dan?
Yeah. But it's all just ethereal profit. Like, okay, cool. Try to sell it to someone. They're going to be like, I don't want to buy it for 1,500.
But that's the thing. Like Melanie could literally sell that and make money
Don't
off
do
of
it. No, okay, sell
No,
it.
she don't want to do it. She wants it to continue to increase.
Okay, and then whatever it gets to $1 million, sell it for $1 million.
Well, what she could do is sell it now, and then she could actually attach something to it that every time it resells from then on, she gets a small portion of it. Just so you know. All right. Anyway, we're getting off the subject.
No, I'm telling you, yes, it's worth. This is worth $1,000. That thing that I just showed you.
Really? Wow.
Well, that's the price I put on it. I'm just saying numbers.
Is that what ART does? I like NFTs. But you're familiar with ART.
I actually call it a PART, physical art. It's a part.
All right. This is starting to be like our instant offers program where people would just email us.
So wait.
Getting our email.
Malarsh, what are you willing to pay for that? That's actual value. He's willing. Look, I already have an offer coming in.
Sell me art then. I'll cash app you.
Yeah.
An ape.
And by the way,
you didn't know what an ape is, Matt.
I don't know what an ape is.
Michael says rich people have their money in art. Well, or now in NFTs. All right, so let's get back on the subject. We were just talking about what's going to happen to inventory, what's going to happen to rates and all that stuff. So here's an article about home builders. Home builders' confidence falls as they wait months for cabinets, garage doors, and appliances. Supply chain issues for home builders. I just had an idea for a reel. And this is how much we've been watching what's the Encantado or whatever the
Encanto.
Disney Encanto, yeah.
Yeah.
You know that part where she's like, doors, drawers, floors, let's go. You know that part?
Yeah.
Somebody should do that and talk about how buyers are just like, here's how buyers know if they should put an offer in on a house or not. It's got drawers, it's got doors, it's got floors. Let's go. All right, sorry. I'm gonna make that reel later. All right, so let's get back to the article. Supply chain issues for home builders appear to be getting worse, and that's weighing on confidence in the industry. Builder confidence in single-family newly built housing fell. Oh no. It fell 1 point in February.
Right.
Guess the number, Dan.
Right.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
It fell to 82 in the National Association of Home Builders Wells Fargo Housing Market Index. That's the second straight month of declines. And remember, anything above 50 is positive. Production disruptions are severe, so severe that many builders are waiting months to receive cabinets, garage doors, countertops, and appliances. This is NAHB Chairman Jerry Conter, a home builder in Savannah, Georgia. Hey, we got a lot of Georgia on the show. These delivery delays
Georgia on my mind.
Georgia. These delivery delays are raising construction costs and pricing prospective buyers out of the market. Surging lumber prices. So we also have a article on that in a second. But
yeah,
residential construction costs are up 21% on a year-over-year basis. These higher development costs have hit first-time buyers particularly hard. Robert D is NAHB chief economist.
So hit there's those last two paragraphs are very, very important.
All right. So of the index's three components, current sales conditions increased 1 point to 90. What?
Sales conditions?
Yep. Builders like the current climate that we're in to sell a house.
Huh. Okay,
I'll tell you that.
But their confidence falls.
Yeah, it fell super bad. The sales expectations the next 6 months fell. So it fell 2 points to 80.
Crazy.
Buyer traffic fell 4 points to 65.
That one's been low for a long time. But now look at the regional ones. This one's funny to me.
Regionally, 1 3-month moving average sentiment in Northeast increased 3 points to 76. In the West, it rose 1 point to 89. In the Midwest, it fell 1 point to 73.
Right. But it falls. Home builder confidence falls.
Sentiment in the South dropped 1 point.
Yeah.
So it seems, I mean, some would say that headlines are incendiary. Right?
Yeah.
Some would say. You might say. Others might say. For me, it's an accurate representation of the article's intent.
Falls. Home builder confidence falls.
That's right.
1 point. Is that a fall, or is that more like I saw a tiny crack and I almost tripped on it? Like that,
or is it a statistical like is that even a significant difference statistically?
It's really not.
What's the error? What's the error rate?
It's like, when you average those out and you get 1 point, that's not even really a change. But how does that headline work though? Statistically, home builder confidence stays the same. Like, it's not very
statistically unchanged.
Yeah. And then
you're not going to have readers of that article.
Yeah.
Meh. Home builder sentiment moved. Meh. All right, so let's talk about another reason. Let's talk about another reason why home builders may be sad.
This is
soaring
crazy.
Lumber prices, nearly $19,000 to the cost of a new home.
That's not incendiary. That's true.
So the price of lumber has been a roller coaster. This is the volatility that we kind of referred to in the price of lumber has been on a roller coaster since the start of the pandemic. It's climbing a big hill yet again. After falling back sharply from the record high in May of last year, lumber prices began climbing again in December. They're now about 22% lower than that peak, but still 3 times their average pre-pandemic price, according to Random Lengths. That's a cool name for a market analyst. That is adding to the cost of both building a new home and remodeling an older one. The National Association of Home Builders estimated that a recent jump added more than $18,600 to the price of a newly built home. That's added nearly $7,300 to the cost of the average multifamily home, which translates into households paying $67 a month more in new rent and a new apartment.
Dude, so I met with the seller last night, and it's a 3-bedroom home. It's a big house. It's 26-ish hundred square feet. Big for around here anyway. But and it had it's 3 bedrooms on the tax rolls, but downstairs was kind of an open dining room area. They turned that into a room. I'm like, we can't really call that. It's a legit room. It has a closet now. Can't really call it a room. So we're going to bow out of that one, but it looks legit. It was done the right way. And then upstairs was a big loft, and they cut it in half and put and made a room out of that. I was like, okay, that one now we can call a bedroom, and then we'll just say, hey, it is 3 on the tax rolls, or buyer to do their own due diligence or whatever. And she was like, okay, cool. But then she told me the cost of it, because they upgraded their house 10 years ago before they moved in. And then this was done a couple months ago. And she's like, so all they did was add a wall and put in a light. She's like, $4,000. We did that all for $4,000. I went, woo.
She heard right through your whoa.
Yeah, I had to control that. I was like, oh yeah, $4,000 is great. But in my head, I'm thinking 3 years ago, this would have cost you $800. Like $4,000 is not good. Just to do a wall, and then obviously drywall and paint and all that stuff and texture, and then add a light to the room. And it made a really nice room. But like I was all like that was a shot. $4,000 that cost her.
Just got some breaking news. In this minute. All right. Breaking news.
Whoa.
Fed minutes were released. We'll see if I can bring that up before the end of the show.
All right.
Okay. So on this article, they said that historically low level of overall housing inventory and solid demand due to low mortgage interest rates and favorable demographics, new construction has been unable to add additional needed supply to the market, resulting in unstable gains for home prices. So we wonder, like, where does all this come from? What's happening? What's the holdup? It's the sawmills. They can't keep up.
Right.
Several reasons behind the inflation, but mostly it's sawmills can't keep up with demand. Sawmill output dropped at the start of the pandemic, and while it has recovered some, it's still plagued by labor shortages. I like how they're using the word plagued in it.
It's plagued.
It's a good move. Okay.
Yeah, it's so many things that are in the way, and it's like it's just obviously that this cost is all being passed on to the consumer, and it's frustrating because you have things like out in the real world, there's this demand from pretty much the nation saying, hey, pay our workers more. Okay, cool. So companies like Chipotle, Starbucks, McDonald's, Shell, Mobil, BP, all of them. Well, when you're a white dude, yes, you have to say Chipotle. All these companies are like, cool, we hear you. We're gonna pay our workers more, but it's gonna cost you. We're gonna have to raise prices. And for the most part, we're like, yeah, dude, I'll pay another quarter for my burrito if that dude gets paid $17 an hour to cut up the chicken and do all that stuff. Sure, that sounds great. But then you see their profits, and it's like, all right, okay, well, Chipotle made 26% more last year. Wait, what? How did you make 26 more than last year? Oh, so you didn't pay them more. You just made more money. Okay, cool.
I'm not going to begrudge them for making more profit, though. Do what you want. Make the profit. If you people are buying, you make all the profit you can.
I get that. And then Starbucks, 31% more. Their CEO made, went from 14 million or 15 million up to 20 million over the last year with all of his stock options and all that stuff. Guac costs you. That's what gets them. The guac.
Matt Lamar says guac is extra. It's okay. So am I. Thank you, Mia, for the Valentine.
Like I cut out Starbucks. That's crazy to me, and I feel bad for the employees that work there because they're not getting the benefit. I looked up the average, Starbucks and, to work there, it's like 12 grand a year, 17 grand a year, up to 30 grand a year. You can, if you manage a store, you make 55 grand a year, which is pretty solid, but is that really enough? But then you got the CEO,
3 jobs,
the CEO going up from 14 or 15 million to 20 million. Ah, okay, cool. Like,
see, look, Julie Moon says her sister works at Starbucks and they give them all raises. Gets paid well.
Yeah, they do. They get paid well. They do get paid well, but if they're going to raise prices, and by the way, prices rose. If you go to Starbucks, it rose quite a bit. So
yeah, we used to call it $5, but now it's like $8.
Right. So I don't go there anymore because it's, but it's one of those things, like same with I mentioned about Rogan. If you don't agree with what they're doing, or if you don't like it, just don't go there. Don't give them money. You don't have to
go there because they support Julie Moon's sister's college. She got her college paid for there too.
Yeah.
That's why I go. Oh, you found it. Matt Lamar said he found our Wayne's World sound effects. All right, send it in. Send it in. But anyway, so right. I get that there's supply chain issues. I get that. I question the labor shortage. Is it just people don't want to work? Yes. So I was in Northwest Arkansas yesterday, and there's a couple of restaurants that I used to frequent all the time when I lived up there. And the restaurants were like not even half full. Then they used to be just like full all the time. And the people that were working there were the same people. And there is definitely a labor shortage. I mean, they had them running like crazy and they couldn't hire people. There's several restaurants that were closed and they had now hiring signs and they could not open because they couldn't find people to work. So it is a problem.
We ran through that last year. So there's a big softball tournament. It's in Colorado. It's kind of the everything, like, 800-900 teams go from around the country, depending on, throughout all the divisions. And we drove, we left here, California, went halfway to a little, I think it's called Richfield, Utah, little tiny city. And then that was halfway, then drove the rest of the way. And we were staying there. We wanted to go out to dinner and we found this really cool little bar and grill place. And we pull up and it says closed because no one will work here. Like, yeah. And this was like 5 o'clock on a Monday or something, like prime time where it should have been open, but it was like literally no one will work here.
Yep. That's a problem across the board. But Dan, I've got great news. Some employees from Homey may want to work there.
Is that
that was a transition.
That was good.
Online brokerage Homey lays off nearly 1/3 of its employees. A company spokesperson confirmed that 119 of Homey's 414 employees were laid off Friday due to, quote, the changing real estate market. They should have said due to, quote, volatility.
Yeah, volatile. And was it done via Zoom, by the way?
Utah-based flat fee. See, I don't know if you read this article and knew this was from Utah or not, but that was a perfect lead-in. Utah-based flat fee brokerage Homey has laid off approximately 1/3 of its employees, and the company wrote Saturday on LinkedIn post that it attributed the decision to the changing real estate market. 119 of Homey's 414 employees were laid off. In the LinkedIn post, Homey wrote, In the LinkedIn post, Homey wrote that it would shift gears into making homeownership more accessible for buyers amid its ongoing inventory shortage. Limited housing inventory has also created a challenging real estate market for home buyers, driving up prices and making homeownership less and less accessible. We're now refocusing on helping to solve this problem by making home buy possible for more people. Those leaving today that have helped build the products to make this a reality, they will be greatly missed. I thought they were going to be like, they'll be compensated fully. They will be greatly missed.
They will be greatly missed.
Those employees who worked really hard to make this all possible.
Thank you.
We're going to miss you.
You gotta go. It's not
we can no longer support your position. Homey raised $35.1 million in venture capital through its existence, most recently raising $23 million in a Series B round in February.
Honestly, it sounds like a smaller company that tried to do the flat fee thing and tried to do their own model, and it just didn't work. That's what it really sounds like. I don't know if there's any much more to attribute it to, you know?
So this is kind of weird. Maybe they're not the best at marketing. It also drew scrutiny due to unusual marketing campaign in which it waged a fake campaign for Senate in Arizona, paying for ads, imploring viewers to vote for Homey. The campaign attracted the attention of the Arizona Attorney General, Mark Bonovich, who launched an investigation that led to an agreement between the company and the government to stop running the misleading advertisements and delete all the data they collected from the campaign.
So maybe there's something.
Could be a leadership.
Man, you're not my homie.
You're not my homie.
Homie, don't play that.
So what was Homey's service model? Do you know? I know it was a flat fee brokerage of some sort, but is that it? They just flat fee. I guess for a flat fee brokerage, it's kind of, that is the service model. It's
whatever they charge,
yeah.
$3,200 or whatever. I mean, but you saw it didn't work with Purple Bricks, and they were pretty big, and they got, we drove them out of the Americas. Remember that? That was awesome.
Yeah. Are they still around?
Maybe they came from Australia, so maybe they're still there, but
Melanie can check it out.
They tried a thing. Yeah. I don't
Melanie has connections. She'll check it out.
I'm checking.
Thanks, Melanie. She's calling her staff in Australia. Okay.
So I want to know, Ray, before you hit that button, can you tell me why is Zillow being so audacious?
They have a big, hairy, audacious goal. The audaciousness of their audacious goal is a gigantic plan to double Premier Agent's business by 2025.
Wait, hold on. Can I do a thing? Hold on.
Yep, go ahead.
This is me on my way to find the audacity that Zillow has. You ready?
Yeah, we're looking. Stupid. For audio listeners, he squatted and walked by the camera.
The audacity. I'm gonna go find. Where did they get the audacity? I'm gonna go find it.
No, it's an audacious company. They have the audacity to create audacious plans, and the most recent one was to buy all the homes across the Americas and then sell them to America. What they found out is that math didn't pan out because they're overpaying for houses and underselling them. So I don't know if you know this, Dan, but if you were to pay like thousands of dollars for your art poster, and then you wanted to sell it, you could sell it for less than that. And that would be similar to the model at which Zillow used to acquire properties around the country.
But I don't want to do that. I don't like that model.
Well, it turns out neither do shareholders. That model doesn't work. So they changed the plan, and the plan is to grow Premier Agent. Zillow's new strategy has the company going back to its roots and doubling down on agent lead gen, extracting more revenue from the real estate commissions. So isn't that what we said during all this hubbub? You remember when we first talked about the iBuying program that they had, it may have been last January or December. We featured a moment where their representative for some kind of data analyst guy, the news anchor asked him, it was a Saturday news anchor, and they said, hey, what's the profit look like for your plan to do iBuying and buy the houses? And he said, well, right now we're not really concerned about profit. You remember this?
Right. Yeah.
It's not a great answer for a shareholder or a company that operates on something called profit. So during that whole time, one of the things that we continued to bring up is maybe they would be better served by better serving the agent, because they're built to serve the agent and not the consumer. But now they're so focused on serving the consumer that they're losing the agents, and agents around the country are dropping them like flies.
Right.
Turns out, Dan, we were right.
Wait, find a sound effect for that one. We were right, Ray.
We were right. Oh, wait, that's not a good.
Yeah.
There you go. That's fine.
Hey, there you go. Plus
Melanie Hayes said Purple Bricks is British, and they left Australia in 2019 when they failed.
I thought it was, when we were talking about them a lot, I thought it was other way. I thought it was Australia first, then Britain, but it was the other way around. My bad. Thank you, Melanie.
So they're still there. Mike says, with inflation, investors want profits, not future profits. Yeah.
Well, then sell those NFTs now.
Matt Lamar says my confidence in Zillow
Non-fungible
is
tokens.
volatile at best.
Hey, did you know that you can't fungent this token either? You can't fungent this. It's
So
non-fungible.
that is a non-fungible token. If there's nothing, so your house, just so you guys know, is non-fungible.
It's a non-fungible. This right here.
It's not a
an
token.
NFT.
It's non-fungible art asset.
Okay, so what I'm
non-fungible asset. That's a NFA.
I'm coming up with this right now. You ready? This is an NF tart. This is a non-fungible token art. This is NF tart.
I'm gonna bake some NF tarts later.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's get back to the article.
Phrase, pay me all the money for it.
Go deeper. The biggest growth driver is Zillow's premier agent business. Well, they did an article, just quoting the article. That's an additional 1.5 billion paid by real estate agents to Zillow. These are aggressive targets. So you can see the target goal, what they are doing now, FY21, it's financial year. I'm assuming it's financial year.
Yep.
They're like what is that? 1.3 billion or so? Did I just say
is what they want to make, right?
They want to bring it up to almost 3 billion. That's the revenue target by year 2025. By the numbers, Zillow's core business is stronger and more profitable than ever, giving the company a rock solid foundation and plenty of cash for future growth. So let's talk about why their numbers are better on Premier Agent than ever. A big part of it is the new Flex program, in which they're taking something like 30% or whatever from real estate agents, and we're experiencing the commission compression all across the board. But this is one of them. Let's see. Premier Agent saw an acceleration in revenue growth driven by unprecedented demand during the pandemic. I should have said pandy. Quarterly revenue growth just dropped for the first time in 18 months. Let's see. Like Premier Agent, revenue surged during the pandemic, but it's also slowed down significantly in the most recent quarters from Zillow Home Loans. So yeah, that's a big drop.
Zillow Home Loans. Did you note that Zillow Home Loans has lost 50 million?
Zillow Home Loans consistently unprofitable with a net loss of 50 million.
Wait till we get to the next article. Just wait, dude.
The bottom line, Zillow's 3.0 plan is centered around creating more transactions for Premier Agents and selling consumers adjacent services like mortgage and title.
Right. Which is Zillow 1.5. So
really. I mean, Zillow started that way. Zillow 1, right? So Zillow 1.5 should be an increase in services and getting other services to the consumer.
Yeah.
But they did this weird thing in the middle. Zillow 2.0 it didn't work.
And again, I said it when they started, they said, we can no longer support these closings when all the iBuying stuff was going on and they were pulling out of that market. They tried a thing. They tried on a grand scale and failed on a grand scale. But if you're going to try to do new things, you're going to have to, sometimes you're going to break a few eggs, and they broke a really big egg. But
yeah. Do you think they'll ever gain the agents back, or are they just going to wait for a new crop of agents to come through?
Well, see, here's kind of what my thought was, because, we went through a time, I guess we're still going through it, where literally anyone can sell a house. I had this exact conversation with the seller last night. I said, anyone can just, I think Keller Williams used to call it the triple P's. You put a
sign in the yard,
you put it on the MLS, you put a sign in the yard, then you pray that someone else sells it. That's what that's kind of what I was taught early on in Keller Williams. Marketing, you got to market the property. So anyone can do it, but if you want the max dollar, you got to market how I market, blah blah blah. But it got to the point where I think a lot of people were like, dude, I'm going to be an agent, I'm going to make a ton of money right now. And then they realized, whoa, dang, even though the market's really good, it's really difficult to find business, and it is kind of difficult to sell a house. You got to really navigate a lot of things, and it's hard to keep those sellers happy with 50 offers coming in. Dude, you got to go through a lot of offers and have a big conversation. If you don't know what you're doing, that's going to be, what if you pick the wrong offer anyway? And then now that things have chilled, you're not able to list the house at just anything anymore. You got to list it at the right price to get a certain price, and so on. So I think then they realized it's difficult. Oh, I'm going to try Zillow. So there was kind of an influx that flowed that way towards Zillow. Will Zillow give me leads, or they'll give me the Flex program? So I think that's why they're like, well, let's go right back to the OG, the 1.5, and see how that works, because 2.0 didn't work at all.
I think something that they're not talking about, maybe not a lot of agents are talking about. Well, not a lot of outlets are talking, news outlets are talking about it. I wonder how many agents that they've lost or gained. Like, what's their premier agent retention been? Because a lot of people that used to buy in our area don't. And I see the decline on my list of, like, you know, when people are available, because I still buy some just in the area where I live because I want my friends to see my head when they jump on Zillow, but I use it more of an advertising platform. But I know a lot of agents don't do it. They don't advertise on it. They don't buy anything on it anymore. So it seemed like there was a time period in which everyone was jumping on.
Well,
so I
remember
wonder what the agent retention's like.
Well, remember, you used to always say, if I'm going to give you $1 and you're going to give me 9 back, that was the original kind of return, right? It was crazy. It's like, well, of course I'm going to do that.
Yeah, no doubt.
I don't care if you're coming from my business. You're going to give me $8 for, you know,
plus their entire database. Yeah, I get the whole database of everyone looking in this area.
They're all going to look at my listing, and then you're going to give me an extra $8, like no brainer. And then the margin got down to, I'll give you $1 and you give me 2.5 or 3 or whatever. But it was still kind of worth it. But then they started an iBuyer program, which we figured out that it's really more investors thing. But agents were like, wait, now you're a buyer too? You're coming after my job. So I think they lost a lot. Are they going to get them back?
Yeah. Or do they want them back? You know, there's a lot of talk on the internal side of Zillow that I've heard. You know, I've got friends that work there.
State your source, Ray.
And they say that there's a lot of agents that they don't want back, that were, you know, the people weren't returning the phone calls. It was a bad customer experience because people were clicking on Zillow, and then the Zillow agent, quote unquote, wouldn't call people back. And so it was a bad experience for them too. So I think they're probably not going to accept everyone anymore, but I'm wondering if they're going to retain everyone that they currently have.
Yeah.
Matt Lamar says Atlantic clients know that I won't be funding Z and instead pouring back into my network and marketing.
So essentially Zillow is saying, well, you can't fire me. I quit. No, you don't break up. I broke up with you.
Yeah, we broke up with you. We don't want you anymore.
Yeah, we don't want you anyway. You can't leave. I broke up with you first. Tap, tap, no erases.
All right, last article of the day. You ready?
Dude,
licking its wounds.
Off. Dude.
That's good. Licking its wounds. Zillow bet on a housing super app. When Zillow stunned the housing world last November by announcing a wind down of its iBuying program and the beginning of the process of laying off a quarter of its workforce, the question became, what's next? Suspense built as Zillow kept a low profile since. And they really have. Like, they have not been in the news lately.
Yeah, we haven't talked about it in a minute.
On Thursday, we got an answer. A super app.
Dun dun dun. Come on, sound effect. Super app.
I don't have one for that. What would be
do the horn?
Yeah, a super app. We're focused on building the housing super app, an integrated digital experience in which Zillow connects all the fragmented pieces of the moving process and brings them together into one transaction platform. The housing super app, according to investor slides filed with the Securities and Exchange Commission. Do they file investors? They file a keynote presentation? I didn't know that. I figured they would file like paper, but it says, according to an investor slide. So they're like putting a slide deck. Hey, SEC, check out this slide deck. If you guys have never been pitched a slide deck, it's a whole different experience. Okay, we'll provide a pre-approval, immersive shopping, and facilitate in-person touring and home financing.
Wait, what?
Okay, so what the super app is going to do is what?
It's just the same thing. It's
no. This is totally different. This is the housing super app.
I was waiting for because I haven't read this article. I read the end, but what?
Yeah, the housing super app will provide mortgage pre-approval,
Yeah.
immersive shopping, and that's in quotes.
Wait.
So is that art? What is that? Immersive
Wait, hold on.
shopping. What
If
is
I went on
immersive
the,
shopping?
you can put on your Google Glass
3D
and
goggles.
just, and just walk around. So wait. So if I was on the Zillow app before, I couldn't click on get a mortgage now?
I think you could, yeah.
Wait. Okay, go on. All right, cool.
But you're just talking about the regular app, Dan.
Not
This is the housing super app. I'm really curious. So the immersive shopping, I'm assuming
we have to do a commercial.
We have to do that.
Are you tired of the old Zillow boring app? Now wait for the new Zillow super app.
The immersive shopping experience has to be 360 tours. With like you put your Google Cardboard on and then put your phone on your face and walk around the house. That's facilitate in-person touring. So how does it facilitate in-person touring, Dan? They click a button and connect with a real estate agent who gives them a tour. Isn't that what the app does now?
No, Ray, you're on the wrong side. I'm supposed to ask that.
Oh,
isn't that what the app has always done, Ray? Is that new?
No, Dan, that's the old app. This is the housing super app. We're just annoying our listeners at this point. They facilitate in-person touring somehow and home finance.
Right. They don't say how.
They don't.
Oh
but what if the in-person touring is through their new Zillow Home Lock? Coordinate the sale of your property with the Zillow Home Lock and allow strangers to come into your home who have registered to a mortgage pre-approval with your favorite Zillow lender.
Wasn't it Zillow? It was. Oh no. We talked about Amazon going into your house based on your door. They give you put the certain door lock on there, and then anyone can go into your house. They're trying to do that. They're trying to do what? Is it Open Door that does that? Or they do that where you can go on your own private tour. Just call this number and then give us all your data.
Matt Lamar said, "Open Door still hasn't opened a door for me."
I can't.
Zillow Super App deserves the theme to the greatest American hero.
If you don't know that theme song, so I come from a time I was born in the 70s, grew up in the 70s and 80s, where theme songs were like songs. Dude, go look that up right now.
Jack Adridge is not a believer. He says the disruptors hardly disrupt anything. People to people business. Always has been, always will be. Until the people are robots, Jack. What then?
Yeah, what then, Jack? So he's not a fan of the new super app. He's not
He's not a believer in the disruptors. But I have to say, if there's one thing we know, like Zillow of all companies could be the ones to pull it off. They're a massive company. Yeah. They have tons and tons of money. They've been making money for years. They're massively successful, super profitable.
Wait, hold on, Ray. We understand the super app and we got the fun sound effect. Can you scroll down to the bottom of that article real quick, please?
Yeah, sure. No big deal.
I just want to see what's at the bottom. What is for 2021? What does that say, Ray?
For 2021, the company lost $881 billion before taxes.
Okay.
But that was just on iBuying, Dan. I mean, they made all kinds of other money.
Okay. So if you go on, let's see, where was it? We got the 50 billion, right?
Zillow lost $528 million in 2021. The company reported, compared to losing $162 million in 2020. So
wait, hold on.
So they're doing a lot better.
Let's at losing money. Wait.
So a higher number is not good in that scenario.
Not when you talk about losing. Yeah,
it's the whole negative sign in front of it.
So do the math. So you got 162 plus 528. You have about, what is that? 600, almost $700 million they've lost in 2 years.
But it's only 528 million. They made a lot top line, like 8 billion in revenue. So
8 billion in revenue.
Yeah. More than double its 3.3 billion in total revenue in 20. So they've doubled their revenue. And if you note, the losses did not double.
No,
they doubled their revenue and somehow tripled their losses.
And wait, now I have a question for people that are smarter than me. Now, it's great to say I reported 8.1 billion in revenue.
Right.
But if my revenue's here, right, and then I report on my losses and I lost this much, doesn't that mean I lost more than I made?
Well, Dan, you're using fuzzy math. That's the math we learned in school. We're talking about investor math. That's different.
So investor math I don't talk about. So if I made 8.1 billion, but I lost 8.5 billion.
Well, you made 8.1 billion though. I mean, that's a big revenue number that any company would love to have, an 8.1 billion revenue number. So,
okay. But I didn't even lose near $1 billion. I only lost.
Well, everyone wants losses. If you don't have losses and you can't write them off on your taxes,
right.
So you gotta have losses.
Okay.
So just
even if it's $528 million,
just part of the business model.
Almost $750 million I've lost in 2 years. You don't want to talk about that?
Well, I think rather than talk about it, what I would like to do is introduce the housing super app.
And then Ray, go down to the end. We talked about this pre-show. Go to the end and see
let me do one more quote, because this says the loss came amid historically robust year for real estate, where housing prices went up, up, and up. And quote, how to become a real estate agent was one of the most frequent Google searches. They somehow lost money.
No, we don't. We have a new super app, Ray.
Yeah, that's right. All right, so let me scroll down to the bottom. I'm going to put this on the screen for everyone to see, so you know.
Yeah,
I'm not
go to
making
the one.
Silver lining.
No, the Parker. Yeah, that one. So Ryan McKeveny, that one. Unclear is whether the company, that one.
Unclear is whether the company is on the right monetization track. Ryan McKeveny of Zelman and Associates asked whether Zillow increased the number of transactions it monetizes year over year. Parker replied that it did not have such figures, but I've seen growth. Barton added that part of the problem is that it has not been diligently tracking those numbers. As a data company that everyone respects and knows tracks data,
we haven't tracked that data.
After McKevney's question, the call wrapped up, but not before Barton said these parting words.
This is it.
It's really a fun and entertaining industry, real estate. Maybe not quite as entertaining as Netflix, but not too far off.
Time to go down.
This is the best.
This is a really fun and entertaining industry. How's real estate? It's really fun and entertaining.
It's really fun and entertaining, Ray.
We made 8.1 billion and lost 8.5 billion. How's real estate? Fun and entertaining. If that's not fun and entertaining, I don't know what your idea of fun and entertaining is, because
Ray,
that is, yeah.
Ray, I'm thinking about selling my house. What do you think about the market right now?
Have you seen the housing super app? I don't really track those numbers, but I would like to introduce you to an app that allows you to get a home loan and immerse yourself in home tours.
Yeah, here. I got the glasses right here. Ready?
You got the glasses.
Wow.
Oh, wait. That's the wrong sound effects.
It works. It works either way.
It works either way.
Oh my God.
So that's so one of the things I did point out to Dan as we were reading through this article is that when he said that this is a very entertaining industry, y'all might recall that as they started taking the jobs of real estate agents, that was the fear. That's not really what they did. He said that they were going to be the Netflix of the industry. You remember this?
No, they said they're going to be the Amazon of the industry.
Yeah, but they had Netflix on a call. They had the Netflix CEO on a call with their company.
Yes.
And they were talking about how they wanted to basically Netflix the real estate industry. So I wonder if that's a callback to agents. I don't know. It's kind of veiled. But it seems it's either like it's something saying, hey guys, we're still going to do this Netflix thing, or it's them saying, yeah, we tried, that didn't work. Hasn't this been fun and entertaining?
But either way, why even mention it in your final parting words? Like, that's how you left the call. Netflix. Ba, 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 ba. You know,
would have been better if they did it via Zoom, said Matt Marsh. Mark Skapinitz, that's Scap for those of you who
Yeah.
watched our show, like, what was that, 3 weeks ago when he was on the show?
Yeah.
He said, just imagine the super app commercial with the theme song of The Greatest American Hero, some person flying awkwardly with a super app and their new tagline, believe it or not, it's just Z.
Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. Never thought I could be so free.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite Seinfeld. One of my favorite Seinfeld episodes is George.
Believe it or not, it's just Z. I think I did it. There you go.
Good.
This is the best show we've ever done, Ray.
Oh my gosh, we're getting better and better.
We're getting there, dude. At some point, we're 4 years in. By maybe 10 years in, I think we're gonna have something. I really do.
We'll be doing a Zoom call.
I'm gonna be 60 years old, but I think we're gonna be.
Matt LaMarche, when comparing what's going on to the super app, the old app to the super app, says ramen is better than filet mignon, kids.
He's stuck on the better thing. Would have been better if they did it via Zoom.
He is better.
He's really beating the better references.
Better than better.
Better than better.
He also made a reel with the Better CEO. Have you seen this? He did a reel with the Better CEO, the audio of the Better CEO laying everybody off. It was funny.
Oh, I haven't seen that one. I'm gonna have to go.
Good job. It was good. Good job, Matthew.
Oh.
All right, kids. That's the show for today. Thank you guys for joining us. I love all the people in Clubhouse joining us. Thank you. If you wanted to come up and say something, it's too late now. But next time, just remember, raise your hand. But you all should follow the Real Estate Networking Club. It's a little greenhouse at the top. Click that. Make sure you're following. Also, all of the moderators, people up here on stage, are people that we respect and love and that are contributors to the show. So we appreciate them, and y'all should follow them too. Dan is showing his NF Tart.
It's my NF Tart. It's my non-fungible token art. I have it right here.
It is non-fungible.
Yep. You can find
Dan,
this.
Could you tell people where they could purchase that from you, Dan?
Yeah, if you just go follow me, you can email me at dledwardrocks@gmail.com or dledwardrocks on Instagram, or you can just cash at me, whatever you think this is worth.
If somebody cashed out to you $1,000, could they get it? Could they have that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's worth $1,500, but I mean, I paid less than that. So for me, that's a win. You know what I'm saying? Like,
there you go.
Yeah, there you go. NF Tart right here, people.
All right, you guys can follow me at Ray Zorback. That's RayZorback, wherever good Razorbacks are sold. I prefer Instagram. Yeah. So follow and connect with me on Instagram. If you guys got questions about anything we cover on the show, feel free to ask there. I love having economic discussions. So especially if you guys don't agree with us, I want to know what it is. You know, back when we first started the show, Dan, one of the things that we thought that would be really great on this show is how often we would disagree, because Dan is kind of a liberal guy, bleeding heart liberal. I'm a pretty conservative guy. And we thought, oh, two guys on total opposite sides.
Dude, Southern California.
Chop it up.
Yeah.
I'm in Arkansas.
Dude.
Let's chop it up. Let's talk real estate. We're going to have opposing views. It's going to be great. And one of the things that Dan and I discovered early on is how much we agree. And and I think it's just sanity at this point. Or maybe it's just two guys in an insane world and how we see it. But we really appreciate all the feedback, and you guys that are private messaging us and stuff during the show. I can always get those after the show, but I can't check them during the show. So we love it if you would just participate and comment live. I will display your comment, but I know some of you want to throw shade without being known, and that's fine too. I'll get to it later. Mia sent me a Valentine. Thank you for the Valentine, Mia, by the way.
And I want you guys to check out our new podcast, Two Guys in an Insane World.
That's not a bad name for a podcast.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's pretty good. But definitely do check out the podcast. We record this and then release it. Our producer, Matt, who's going to be super happy that I hit the transition on every one of the articles.
It was
going to
good
save him like an hour.
It was great.
I was supposed to do the chops, but we got some other stuff going on. Just watch for some announcements coming soon. Next week, we won't have the show. I will be on the slopes in Lake, not Lake Tahoe. I guess it's Tahoe. I don't think the lake is up there. It'd be frozen. I don't know. I've never been
selling, dude.
You're going to be selling your NF Tarts?
My NF Tarts, dude. Check out this one. This one has been on 100 and how many episodes?
178. Today's the 178th episode.
This has been on about 100 episodes of an actual show. And
that's actually you for those.
That's actually me. So I got this for free back in the day when I worked in the video game industry. So it's all profit. You pay.
How many of those are there in the world?
There's just this one.
So that's the only one. That is non-fungible.
Of this one, yes. There's other versions of him with different colored hair, blah, blah, blah. But yeah.
But there's just that one. It was created after you as a rocker.
It's a thing. It's a thing. There's a story about it that goes back, yes, but that's essentially.
See?
Yep.
I need one for me.
There you go.
I'm going to buy Dan's non-fungible tart.
My NF tart.
Pop tart.
By the way, I love you guys. A lot of times I mess around. If you think I'm messing with you, I am, but it's because I love you so much.
Yep. All right, guys. So we'll see you next time. If you dry scoop, just remember you should mix it with water. All right. That's the show for today.
On that note.
Bye, everybody.